Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. You see who it is on the screen, Dr. Umar Johnson. Listen, ATC, look at this comment here, and I find this very, very interesting. We're talking about the accounts being closed. So I'm going to go ahead and play. I want you to hear what Dr. Umar Johnson has to say, okay? And let's have a discussion about frozen accounts versus closed account. But now he's gone from froze to closed. Here we go.
Dr. Umar personal bank account is still frozen. Dr. Umar personal bank account is still frozen. Brothers and sisters, we are fighting this war against FDMG and Dr. Umar Ifatunde. We are fighting this war against FDMG and Dr. Umar Ifatunde. We were supposed to get a refund within 4 days of our accounts being shut down. We were supposed to get a refund within 4 days of our accounts being shut down. We still haven't got our refund.
Okay, so right there, he has gone from froze to closed. The truth, nothing but the truth says, if an account is frozen, there will be no action, either incoming or outgoing, with that account till the issue is resolved. And they aren't giving you a check on a frozen account. Hello, I concur. And I responded back, my understanding is that when you get a check, my understanding is that you get a check on a closed account, not a frozen account. Now, there are three reasons, and I'm not saying that these reasons here presented are going to be applicable to the freezing or the closing of any of the accounts affiliated with Dr. Umar Johnson or FDMG. But three reasons here a bank can freeze your account. And he did touch on this. This says suspicious or illegal activity was spotted on your account. Now, maybe it was somebody else, and I recall him mentioning that. It says if your account seems to have suspicious activity or illegal activity, a bank is allowed to freeze an account. This is specifically if they believe one of your account holders has been conducting illegal activities, which I doubt he's doing that, but that's one reason. Number two, let's scroll on down. They can freeze it if you owe a debt to a creditor or a debt collector. Number two, the second reason, if you have unpaid debts, your creditors may be able to get the bank to freeze your account. They would then be able to go into your account and pull money to pay off your debt. They must first get approval from the courts by getting a judgment against you. The judgment would then be sent to the bank, and they would have this on file, and that's pretty much, they can pull that electronically. It is also important to be aware that if you have a defaulted loan at the same institution as your bank account, the lender can access your account to pay the defaulted loan without obtaining a judgment. You agree to this when you sign the loan. Let me tell you about that really quick. Let me get to the last one. The last one, if you owe the government, you owe the debt to the government. If you owe student loans or taxes to the government, you might find your bank account automatically frozen by the IRS. They can issue a tax levy for unpaid taxes, which will not be lifted until the debt is fully paid. Now, guess what else? This part right here. You owe a debt to a creditor or a debt collector. This lady, Becky, was telling me, and I was like, wow. She had a nice house upstairs, downstairs. I think she was doing it all by herself. She went and had a whole lot of furniture put in. She charged it. Ran up some credit card debt. I think she said the debt was $34,000. She had a windstorm on her house, and it damaged the roof. Had to get a roof replacement. And I'm not sure if she had a full replacement, but anyway, she got an insurance check for $21,000. She deposited the insurance check in her account. The roofers came, completed the roof, and so what she was going to go ahead and do was she deposited the check in her checking account, and then she was going to go ahead and write the check for that $21,000, and then of course pay her deductible. The roofing company finished the check, so she went to go write the check. No, she did write the check. The check bounced. She went to the bank because she's like, no, I deposited the insurance check. It's there. She said, and it's what she's telling me, she said the bank told her that credit card that she didn't pay it, she had defaulted and it was a charge off. She said the bank had told her that since she didn't pay, that they were going to go ahead and hold that check, the check from the insurance company. So she would either, and she was like, you got to be kidding me. She's like, no, they told her. It's what she's telling me, that they told her they were going to hold that check. In the meantime, they said she would need to pay that credit card balance. Well, it was $34,000. She didn't have that kind of money. She was still working, paying her house note. She ran that card up and didn't pay. Meantime, guess what? She said the roofer was calling her about the check and said they were going to put a lien on her house, and she was stuck on her own to figure it out. Mm-hmm. I think what she should have did is made a copy of that check, and she should have signed that check over to that roofer. But she didn't know that. So because she owed that credit card, um, that bill to the bank, and she didn't pay it off, it was a charge off. Um, they held that insurance check. I had never heard of anything like that. And she checked, and she was told, yep, they can do that. She was on her own. And the roofer was saying, I'm going to put a lien on the house. And the bank saying, we're just holding it. So if you look at it, she owed that, 34? That check was 21. So she's $13,000 short. I never in my life heard of anything like it. So yeah, no one's paying around about their money. So yeah, these are reasons that they could freeze the account. This may or may not be applicable to Dr. Umar and FDMG, just speaking in general. Now, I Googled here just to confirm what I said prior to the viewer, Nothing But the Truth. Do banks issue checks on frozen accounts? Because my issue was they only issue checks when they close the account. And my understanding, that can take 7 to 14 days. You remember that young lady, the young lady in our community had a business and they closed her account, and I called the bank to find out, and they were like, yeah, up to 2 weeks to get the check. It says here, no, generally banks will not issue checks on a frozen account. Any checks written by the account holder will not be honored. Mm-mm-mm. A frozen bank account means the account holder cannot make withdrawals, transfers, or process payments. Wow. The purpose of a freeze is to restrict access to funds, either due to legal action. I wonder if anyone's filed a legal action and he didn't get the mail. That's what I'm kind of wondering. Suspicion of fraud or illegal activity, or other reasons depending on the specific circumstances and the bank's policies. So this right here looks like he has gone from froze to close. And the sad thing is, the supporters, people that believe, put their hard-earned dollars in. If this auction continues, here's the thing: he probably won't get the check in time to even open up another account. And how do we know another bank? They might. How do we know that they won't flag him? He may try to have something. I saw this on line. I was like, what is it? I'm like, I sure as heck don't want. And I was like, what is this? Why don't people do this? And this girl was telling me, she was like, oh, some people, when they messed up with the bank, they have something called second chance checking. And so what that means, if they messed up with the bank, so they have to go to these other banks that's like, it's a little different. It's just online. And that's why I was like, girl, what are you doing? Because I was like, I just wouldn't use it. But that's what it was. I'm like, you need to go to like where there's inside of a bank. So everything was just like, it was like an online bank. You can call someone, but there's like no physical location. I just don't trust it. I just don't. So yeah, that happens. But what are the chances that he's going to be able to get that check? And I guess he'll have to get a whole nother account with a whole nother bank. And if anything, he needs to be transparent, make copies of the check, be transparent, because a lot has been said in the internet streets. The sad thing is this: is if that building is auctioned off, that will be the sad thing for the people that believe. And then you never know. It could go to somebody with money. Obviously, they'll get that building at a steal. If he's only owing $30,000 with having and some utilities, and if he's paid $1,000,000 for the building, whatever, then even if it's a couple $100,000, trust and believe we're gonna have a whole nother wealth transfer, just like that lady that had that home is worth $250. How in the heck you cannot? The whole family, they can come up with $14,000. Now some people may not, but yeah, but it's like $14,000, and now it's sold for the taxes and the interest and the penalties. You got to be kidding me. Nobody's gonna give a house back because they feel bad for me, Ma. It's things like this here. Wealth just escaping through your hands. He says he's worked on this for 6 years at these two buildings. 6.5 years. Then if this happens, the auction, then all the hard work, the donations, I'm sorry, it was done for nothing. Done for nothing if this happens. We got to handle business better. Am I blaming him? No, I don't have all the particulars. I know much about it as you do based upon his video. But if it had been me, I would have been all on it. No, it wouldn't have been no 4 months later. I would have let them know, listen, we've got an issue here. I would have been sent out the certified letters return receipt. I would have been inquiring. They would have heard from me every 2 weeks. And I would have had my proof. So then when something does happen, I would have already been ready. I'm going to go ahead and just check and see if we have a legal cause of action. Are they being discriminatory? Are they being negligent? Yes, cities can be sued, is my understanding. Are they being discriminatory? Are they being negligent? What's going on? Would this be an unlawful auction? You never know politics. Somebody wants that building. They're like, man, he's not going to open up the school. It's not going to happen. People talk. They're entitled to their opinion. Then somebody's checking it out. That'd be a good idea to scoop it up. Things like that happen. So this is just bad all around for the donors and the believers and the supporters. If someone were to come and just scoop up this property off of an auction, we got to do better. Again, not blaming him. It's his business. It's his school. But that's my opinion. We got to do better. Something came across my mind Sunday. I emailed my lawyer, and I said, I emailed him. Yeah. Well, he's on the office. It don't freaking matter. He'll get the email. He got the email. He's like, I agree. I'm on it. Oh, they want to go ahead and go about this way. Okay, sure about that? You really sure about that? Okay. Well, this is how I think, and this is how I think I'm gonna proceed. So he's like, oh yes, do what you gotta do. I'm on it. I'll try to get it. I said this is what I need. And this is what I'm gonna do. And then after this happens, if it gets to this point, then guess what? That's when I'll then pull you in and you'll go from there. But I'm gonna be the one up. Here you go, and then we'll see what happens. We're not gonna just sit around and just play and diddly winks and all of that. No, I believe in getting to it, getting to work, getting busy. So yeah, so I thought about it. This is what I think we should do next. It's a little unorthodox. He's like, do what you gotta do. Yes, I'm for it. I'm on it. I'll get this for you. Let's get it cracking. Why? Life is business, man. We got to get with it. So this here, like I said, it'd be a very, very sad for the supporters. But I thought about that. Somebody might be sitting up for a plan, and man, it's not going to be a school. It hadn't been a school all this time. I don't even know if the money is there for a school. As I said before, you need an endowment. You have to have these certain kind of budgets. You cannot do payroll based on donations. That's my opinion. Lunch. Who's going to be the vendor? Vendors have to be paid. Refrigerators, ovens. Uh, Man, this is a heck of an undertaking of school. That's why the budgets are sometimes planned out annually, way, way before they're planning these things out. You can't run payroll for teachers, janitors, or nurse custodians. You can't run that. In my opinion, you can't do that. Okay. You can't do that based on donations. That's just how I see it. I just think the money needs to definitely be there. You can't say, "Oh, hey guys, we're gonna have a fish fry this weekend or a block party, so I can get you guys on payroll." Oh wow, I just don't see it that way. But that's my opinion. Anyway, let me know what you think. We're going from what? From froze to close. It is so sad. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share. And I'm out.